Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Isti Tri Wahyuni, and on this special occasion, I'd like to deliver my research entitled Analysis of Rhetorical Moves in Science Research Article Abstract. Here is the outline of my presentation. First, I will discuss the introduction, then followed by the aim of the study, literature review, methodology, findings, and reference. Let's discuss the first topic, introduction. Issue raised. Abstract has a crucial role in research articles. It is considered as the face of the research article since it is the first section that will be noticed by the readers. Therefore, abstract writing should be written in a correct standard. However, the problem often faced by authors is that they do not understand or may not know that there are several rules that must be followed in writing an abstract in order to be considered as an acceptable and standard abstract. Next slide, please. Justification. This research is important to be conducted to increase the understanding of writing an acceptable abstract and to trigger the enthusiasm of researchers to do more research to be published in an eligible journal publisher. Next slide, please. Significance of the study. The objectives of this research are to find out what the rhetorical moves used by academicians of science field research article abstracts develop linguistic features realized in the rhetorical moves. Research gap. In the previous studies, researchers related to move structure of research article abstract have been conducted in various fields. However, the study of analyzing research article abstract in science still has less attention from researchers. Let's move on to the aim of the study. The purpose of this study is to analyze the use of rhetorical moves in research article abstract in science field and to find out the linguistic features realized in the rhetorical move. The next discussion is literature review. Abstract is the second section written in a research article after the title. Highland stated that abstract has a more modest and more urgent purpose than other sections in a research article. It is to persuade readers that the article is worth reading. Rhetorical moves. According to John M. Wells, rhetorical move is to describe certain rhetorical or linguistic patterns, stages, or structures that are conventionally found in text or text segments. Methodology. Research design. The research design of the study used qualitative research. Specifically, the study employed the Highland Spot rhetorical move models theory as a guideline to analyze the data. Data sources. 9 research articles abstract were taken as the main data. The research articles abstract were written by OP lecturers in science field. Data collection. The data used were an abstract written by author in the science field or collected through Google Form. Afterward, the data were downloaded into one file. For the data analysis, first, the process started with breaking down the text into sentences. Then the sentences were moved into a table consisting of 6 columns: sentence, move, step, voice, tense, and verb. And the last one, determine each sentence belonged to which category. Findings. Move 1, Introduction. To establish context of the study and motivate the research or discussion. Move 1 occurred for 100%, thus it is considered as obligatory move. This move was indicated to accomplish several communicative purposes. Based on the existing data that has been analyzed, most of the authors included step 1, where they stated the topic generalization and related to the current situation. Another communicative purpose that frequently used after making topic generalization was step 2, arguing for topic significance, while the other 2 steps, defining key terms and identifying gaps, were not found in the collected data. Next slide, please. Here are the examples taken from the data. Different from previous research that has been conducted by Darabat 2016, he analyzed rhetorical moves in research article abstract abstract that was written by authors from three different disciplinary studies: applied linguistics, applied mathematics, and applied chemistry. Based on his research, the results showed that book one was the least frequent. Next slide, please. Move 2, purpose, indicates and outlines the intention behind the paper. Move 2 was considered as obligatory move since it also appeared for 100%. The move was intended to convey what was the purpose or the aim of writing the research article. This move has no step. It serves to inform the readers regarding the aim of the research article. Based on the data that has been obtained, the authors write one short sentence to show the purpose of their research article. Next slide, please. Here is the example. Almost similar to research that has been conducted by Andika, Safnil, and Harahap, their research concern was analyzing journal article abstract written by postgraduate students in applied linguistics. In the findings section, it showed that the silence of move 2 was 91.7%. Let's move on to the move 3. Move 3 methodology provides information on design, procedures, assumption, approach, and data. Same as previous move, move 3 also took place for 100%. Therefore, it is obligatory. Move 3 was intended to explain what methodology that was used in the research article. From the results of the analysis, step 2, describing instrument, was most widely used by the authors, followed by step 3, describing procedure and context. Next slide, please. Here is the example. In a previous research conducted by Suryani and Rismianto 2019 also showed the same result where three occurred for 100%. Their research was entitled Move Analysis of the English Bachelor Thesis Abstract written by Indonesian. Let's move on to the Move 4. Findings states the main findings and the arguments. Likewise, move 4 is obligatory move where it occurred 100%. The move served to present what were the results and the findings of the research. According to the data, most of the authors conveyed the findings of the research in 3 to 4 sentences. The first sentence was the big picture of the research, then the next sentence explains more concerning the points conveyed in the first sentence. However, there were authors who wouldn't include move 4. Next slide, please. Here is the example. On move 1, this paper and thereabouts research showed opposite result. However, the move 4 share the same findings for move 4 was identified to be performed in all examines abstract. And the last move, move 5, conclusion, interpret results, draw inference, point implications, or broader implications. Compared to other moves, only move 5 that categorized as optional moves since it only occurred for 60%. Step 1, deducting conclusion was the most used step by the authors. The rest employed step 4, presenting a recommendation or implication, while step 2, evaluating the significance of the research, and step 3, stating limitations were not found in the data. Next slide, please. Example. In the end, the result shown by this paper was not much different from Andika, Safnil, and Harahap research. On their research, move 5 was also conventional move since it only occurred for 61.7%. Next slide, please. Linguistic realization of the moves. The results showed that in terms of tense usage, the most used tense by the authors was the present tense, proven by 3 out of 5 moves were more dominant with present tense. The 3 moves are move 1, introduction, move 2, purpose, and move 5, conclusion. While the rest of the moves, move 3, methodology, and move 4, findings were mostly used past tense. Significant results seen in terms of the use of sentence voice. 4 out of 5 moves were mostly used active voice. They were move 1, move 2, move 4, and move 5. Only move 3 that used passive voice more often. Lastly, in terms of verb tense, each move used various verbs to signal what tense that was used. However, the similarity in using verb tense was seen in moves 1 and 2. Mostly, move 1 started with defining key terms or arguing for topic significance. Thus, the most verb tense used was the word is. Meanwhile, move 2, which served to state the purpose of the research, mostly used verb tense aims to. Well, let's move on to the discussion. The conclusion. For conclusion, the study has employed two research questions: what are the rhetorical moves used in abstract written by soft science lecturers, and what are the linguistic features that are realized to support the rhetorical moves? The results show that most of the moves are obligatory. The moves are move 1, move 2, move 3, and move 4. Only one move that was categorized as conventional move. It is move 5. Meanwhile, in terms of step, the authors in soft science fields share the same interest for stating topic generalization, which is the communicative purpose of move 1, step 2, and including move 3, step 3, describing procedure and context. It was proven by move 1, step 2, and move 3, step 3 that occurred for 100%, while the steps while the rest of the steps only reach for 60%, even some of them were 0%. Whereas for a linguistic realization of the moves, simple present tense was dominates the use of tense in the data, followed by past tense in the second place. The move that dominantly used this tense is move 1, introduction, meanwhile past tense mostly used in move 3, methodology. In terms of voice, active voice leads to use of voice in the data by 55 times used. Based on the data, move that usually used this voice were move 2 and move 4, meanwhile passive voice mostly used in move 3. Next slide, please. Here are the reference that used for this paper. For the reference brings me to the end of my presentation. Thank you so much for your attention. Have a good day.